Hey everybody, Brickin here. It is July 1st. It is Canada Day. I'm hanging out in the Lego room, and it's a bit of a mess again. Kind of a ongoing thing here now. I think it might just be my new intro now. It's a bit of a mess in here, but we're working on it. Maddox finished off working on, looks like the Durr Burger and finishing off the Mario Kart Blue Shell. So I got those for his birthday. We have the Tri-Wizard Tournament, the Arrival there. It has not been worked on. We got a Pokemon 3-in-1 set right here, not complete. Oh, here's a sweet set. I'm gonna turn this around so I can see better. We got the Luxo Junior lamp here. This thing is finished. That's about the only thing that's finished over here. And I also opened up the Lord of the Rings Balrog, Gandalf versus Balrog. Not finished working on that. And just came in today, the Wild West train set. And I'm excited to work on that. I almost cracked it open, but I'm actually gonna hold off on that and kind of hopefully make it into a cool little experience. So working on that, so stay tuned for that. But I see the city over here. I have the train tracks sitting on the ground. I want to work on that. But before I can get those in, I need to finish off this one little section right here. It's not the prettiest section. It's what's holding up this block of modulars right over here. So I need to clean it up because behind the buildings, you can see that it's not so pretty. We've got some big space underneath here. And actually that's gonna lead into this rock work here. I just threw it in because I wanted to hide this big ugly space, but I actually want to keep these parts and use them somewhere else in the city. And I don't want to have too much rock everywhere necessarily. So what I'm thinking I'm gonna do is make some sort of brick wall, use some arches, come up with some sort of cool design, and get that implemented into the city. There's a lot of really cool, like retaining walls, brick walls. You see people use a lot of different heights in cities, and I haven't done anything like that in my city quite yet. I've been mainly focused on using the merps and blurps, or the burps and the just the rock work kind of stuff. And I like it, but I'm thinking I want to save those pieces for the eventual mountain that's going to be going over here. So they're about $350, $450 each Canadian. So if I can save a big stack right over here and use some parts that I don't really use that often and I have a ton of, I am going to make that switch. So this is what I have in mind. This is just a little example here, a little just trial to see what it looks like, and I kind of like it. So I have a bunch of these arches here. I have a ton of these 2x2 dark bluish gray parts from the old modular buildings. I switched them out for light bluish gray parts. So I think if I can do some sideways building in the inside and do some cool arches on the outside there, I think that's gonna look really neat. So I think I'm gonna use that technique along the bottom to hold up that side of the city block. And where the mills plate is, I'm potentially gonna be taking out the entire side of all of those mills plates and putting in some masonry bricks. Or I might try to use some of the Technic pinholes and put some sort of plate system along the edges to try to hide that that one mills plate, I guess, technically, because a lot of them are blue plates and white plates and green plates and stuff like that, because those are pretty common plates, and the common plates I like to use as much as possible. So they're not the prettiest, so I have to try to hide them as best I can. So having a blue line right in the middle of the wall might look kind of weird. So I potentially might try to hide some of it with using some snot bricks and some plates. I'll show you what I mean. But I'm thinking I might just try to utilize these Technic pinholes and maybe put some sort of plate system as some sort of maybe walkway or guardrail to stop people from falling off the edge, and also hiding that really ugly 32 by 32 plate. Anyways, I'm gonna get starting by... Oh. Hello? Yeah, I'll be right up. All right, bye-bye. I love you too. That's just my wife just saying, hey, time to put the baby to bed. All right, so that's what I'm trying to do. I want to get some building. I want to get the baby to bed. I want to get all this done, but I got to document it. Or I don't got to. I want to. I definitely don't have to do anything. I want to. And I want to show you guys, and I don't want to do it and then be like, yo, I forgot to show you what it looked like before. So this is what it looks like before. This is what it looks like after. Damn, I thought it was going to work like that. That's usually how it works, right? Oh, this isn't Instagram, this is YouTube. All right, so the first thing I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna be removing these buildings in this area, which is why I'm not finishing off this train track. I wanna get this train track ripping around this entire area here, so I have to get that done. So I think once I get that done, then the train track's just gonna be going all the way around, and I'm really excited for that because I wanna get it off the floor, I wanted to get it into the city, I wanna see how great it looks, and I'll worry about the challenge of finishing off the rest of the circuit with the big mountain over there, but that's future Andrew's problem. You guys will have to check that out as well. But it's the holidays are starting here. I still haven't finished off the Krusty Burger videos yet. I finished making them. It's obviously in the city. It looks awesome. I just haven't finished editing the videos. So let's get to that. Psych. Let's go put Weston to bed.
Here's a look at what was holding up those buildings, a hodgepodge of Lego and Duplo. I knew some of this section was going to be hanging off the edge of the table, so I tried to make it as robust as possible. After removing it from the city, I came up with a new look on the outside to hide the interior. To get the height perfect, I wasn't able to tile off the top section, so the mill's plate will just rest on these bricks. In the four corners underneath of each 32 by 32 base plate, there are these little bumps that help secure the base plates when stacking. It's minor, but it helps. I added it back into the city and carried out the outside technique I used to the next 32 by 32 base plate. The technique wasn't very complicated. I simply just needed to hide the interior, and this is how I was able to get the tiles sideways. It's simple but looks really cool and a little different than just using bricks alone. I placed the buildings back into the city to check out the new look, and for the most part I was very happy with how it turned out. However, I noticed I missed a section alongside the diner. The underside is still exposed, so I'll have to fix that. The next thing I came up with was how I was going to be hiding the mill's plates and keeping the figures from falling off with some sort of rail. This is the design I came up with, mainly utilizing some of the parts I have in abundance, like these gold chains. By placing pins into the holes, I can use this section to hide the mill's plate. After finalizing my design of the rail, I added another section alongside the rest of the exposed mill's plates. After getting the railing situation handled, I couldn't resist but throwing in a section of track along the roadway that I'd just been working so hard on. Finishing off the roads, adding the Krusty Burger, plus now upgrading all the building supports that were holding me back from completing this track. Now it's time to get back to finishing off this section for once, by removing the rock work to save for a future project and completing the walls. You can get a good view of some of the MDF tabletops that I cut to size for my table. They keep the things level and reduce warping of the tables due to all the weight. Here's a look at the simple design I came up with to hold this section of the city as well as hide the tables. In this section, I thought the tiles looked a little too plain by themselves, so I added some vines growing up the middle. I even added some vines to the rest of the archways because I liked the look so much. Finally, I was able to add this section to the back of the city, which caps off the back section of all these buildings. You may have noticed that I added a curved section to the city, which I'll highlight in another video soon, because at the time of this recording, I have officially completed the circuit around the city. It wasn't easy, there were lots of challenges that I haven't seen too many other people try to tackle in a LEGO city, so make sure you're subscribed to the channel so you don't miss it. Remember to make time for yourselves, your family, and your LEGO. Take care.
So I'm planning on using that technique right along there. Oh, Jesus, Andrew, let's just finish this up. Give me 1 second, Maddox. So I think I'm going to use that technique